start. If we can have a
That, but there's more.
roll call.
Yes, sir. Mayor Endicott.
Present.
Mr. Blades.
Present.
Mr. Rajaratnam.
Present.
Mr. Heyman.
Present.
Mr. Gorman.
Present.
5 present, we have a quorum.
All right. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved. Second.
We should have slides. Please vote. 5 ayes, motion carries.
All right. We will move into the closed session portion of our meeting, and we will return after.
For the record, the closed session will be on 2 items. One item, potential litigation. The second item, employee evaluation for the position of the city manager.
Welcome back to regular session. If I could have everyone stand and, okay, everyone stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain, we'll have the invocation after. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join me in prayer if you would. Oh God, we thank you for another new year in our lives. We thank you for the calling you have given to all of us to be good stewards of this city and its resources. Lord, your grace has brought us thus far. I pray for wisdom, strength, and courage to do what is right and what is good for all the citizens of Ridgecrest. Lord, may we always put the interest of others above our own interest. Lord, may you continue to bless this council and this city. Lord, give us wisdom so that we may solve problems, distinguish between right and wrong, and bring stability, growth, and prosperity to this community. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
All right, next up we have our presentation, the Ridgecrest Tourism Improvement District Annual Report 2020. I have it as the after. Okay, all right. 2024, 2025. It's okay.
Hello, my name is Carrie Crutcher. I'm the Executive Director of the Ridgecrest Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. Sorry. I'm here tonight. By law, we are required to submit an annual report to City Council, and so I'm here tonight doing that. I just wanted to touch on a few things from the RACVB. 2025 was a great year for us, for tourism, for Ridgecrest. I would say it was a year of growth. It's probably the best word for the year. I'm just going to kind of bullet point a few of our efforts briefly. We worked a lot with different groups in the area and out of the area, and we have added 9 new events that will bring visitors from out of the area to Ridgecrest for the 2026 calendar year. We have increased our staff. We brought in a marketing manager, so we are handling the bulk of our marketing in-house now, which is, she's been a great addition to the team. As far as our advertising and social media efforts, our posts and promotions garnered 84,000 interactions on Facebook and Instagram and 2 million views, which was fantastic. For billboards, you may have noticed we added 4 Ridgecrest billboards to the highways, 14 and 395. That puts us now at a total of 9 Ridgecrest billboards out there. And we are continuing to work to increase the signage on the highways. It's not an easy task, but we continue to work on that. So hopefully more to come in 26 on that one. And then as far as hotels go, hotel stays, the demand was up 6.5% year over year for 2024. So part of that was due to activities on China Lake, but also tourism and leisure travel was up this year. And we made a strategic effort to support, again, different events that would bring people to the area. And so part of that increase in the hotel demand was directly due to that support that we provided. So all in all, a great year for the RACVB. In your packets, files, you should have the official annual report. And so if you have any questions on that or just RACVB matters in general, I'm happy to answer those.
No questions here. I just wanted to comment on how I've watched, in the time I've been on the council, the RACVB go through growth and iterations, and under your leadership, it's done very well. And I think you've done an impressive job with the RACVB, and I'm happy with the direction you're taking it.
Thank you.
I also want to point out, I went down for a VA appointment in Lancaster not too long ago, and I noticed the billboards on 14, and I just remember driving down, and I was like, oh, hey,
Yeah,
Ridgecrest. So they at least got my attention. So I want to echo Kyle's comments that, you know, everything that I've seen you do, you put all your effort into. And you know, just in the last few months, I've seen the fruits of some of that. You know, I think the artist thing was a fantastic event. Look for it to grow and continue, along with everything else that you're doing. So,
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I'll concur. I think you're doing a great job, and it's nice to see Ridgecrest on the map and to see us becoming a spot to come, you know, to see, to visit. And so the off-road, you know, folks that come from all over, you know, to partake in the desert and the off-road riding, and it's a huge thing, and I'd like to see more somehow bringing them into the city. I know they're in big camps out and about, but I don't know what that looks like, but I think you're doing a great job. So
Thank you.
keep it up.
Carrie, I'm your biggest fan. It broke my heart seeing the damage to your front door of your shop, and I hope that gets fixed. You're invited to send whatever contractor's working on that door my way, and I'll collaborate with him on doing what we can to keep this from happening in the future.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I just want to echo everybody's comments. So you are doing a great job, Kerry, especially on the marketing as well as on the finance side. I have seen that you have eliminated most of the unnecessary expenditure, and you have taken control of the finances of RACVB. So thank you very much for your hard work in that area.
Thank you so
Appreciate it.
much. It's my pleasure, and looking forward to next year. We have a big off-road race coming, Dr. Heyman, so
Yep.
more to come on that.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next we have the attorney report out of closed session.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor, council members. Council met on 2 items in closed session: potential litigation and employee performance evaluation for the position of the city manager. No reportable actions were taken by the council in closed session.
Next, we will move on to public comment of items not on the agenda. Persons wishing to address the council on matters that are within the council's jurisdiction and do not already appear on the agenda may do so at this time. Council will not respond to any public comment, but may provide a direction to staff to collect information. Pursuant to the Brown Act, the city council may not act on an item that does not appear on this agenda. Speakers are limited to 5 minutes. The public comment section of the agenda is limited to a total of 1 hour. Each speaker is asked to provide his or her name.
My name is Eddie Edwards, and I'm here on behalf of the Martin Luther King Committee to invite you all to our program, a celebration on the 19th here at the Kerr McGee Center. And you have I gave Rick a little flyer type, so you can have that to put in your pocket, okay?
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you. Bless you.
Good evening. My name is Michael Citra, and I want to discuss some more issues with the 24 Flock AI-powered surveillance cameras that share their data with 293 organizations in California. Recently, a blogger and his associates reported on over 60 Flock-powered surveillance cameras These cameras were Flock's latest and greatest technology installed in real-world locations and were actively in service. However, they were totally accessible to anyone, anywhere on the internet who wanted to see their live camera feeds, access 30 days worth of recorded video, or change the camera settings. These cameras were of the Condor model, which drops the whole license plate reader pretense and goes straight for the end game. They are high-resolution, AI-powered pan-tilt cameras that automatically zoom in, track, and record every person they see. Amazingly, Flock is so bad at security that they left over 60 of these cameras totally unsecured, open to anyone with no hacking required. The blogger traveled to Bakersfield, where one of these cameras is located, and filmed part of his expose in front of an operational camera, and then downloaded the footage to insert into his video. He also showed other cameras installed on bike paths and pointed at children in a park. One camera showed is located along a residential road, peering through the window of somebody's house. This is government surveillance of a private home conducted by a private company that is too incompetent to set up a password on their equipment. There is no way to live in that house without being recorded and tracked constantly. The U.S. Constitution grants the people security from unreasonable searches and seizures in their homes. This looks very unreasonable to me. These cameras have more than enough resolution to identify people and probably already do it automatically. They have patents from years ago about extracting identifiable information about people from their images. Why wouldn't they have implemented it by now? It would take zero effort to flip a switch and turn on a national database of every American's movements, all owned and controlled by a private company with contractual permission to do whatever they want with it. It's good that we saw into the next version of Flock's products like this. We can all stop pretending that this is just for intel to police departments on vehicle movements. No, this is about total surveillance of everyone, everywhere, all the time, and never with a warrant or even probable cause. The license plate cameras are just the foot in the door for the surveillance state. With Flock, the city basically owns nothing. They own no hardware and are not responsible for installation or maintenance. The city isn't even allowed to touch the cameras or do their own evaluations of the hardware. Flock offers introductory offers with low minimum orders. Cities can start small and expand later, which is what happened when the first order was placed in March of '24 for just one camera. Flock uses this low barrier of entry as fuel for their move fast and break things mentality. I wouldn't be surprised if they have already pushed these new surveillance cameras on the police chief as an easy upgrade. Speaking of the police chief, last meeting he addressed some of my concerns, which is greatly appreciated. It is fantastic that we can have this dialogue in a public setting to benefit all the residents of the city. The main defense of the technology he used is that Flock has never been hacked. I found this interesting, not because it's true, it most definitely is not. We just saw that hacking isn't necessary to access Flock devices. They aren't secure in the first place. It was interesting because it was the same language used by police chiefs across the country over the last month. It turns out that Garrett Langley, the CEO of Flock, sent an unsolicited email to every police chief that is a customer on December 8th with a list of talking points concerning their poor performance with information security. Flock has never been hacked ever, proclaims the first point. The email, which I included in your packet, goes on to whine about an alleged coordinated attack on his company from activist groups who want to normalize lawlessness. How ridiculous. I saw these cameras installed in my city, looked into it, and was horrified with what I found. I am coming to you, my city council, to express my concerns and urge you to take action. This is democracy. This is my right, and this is my responsibility. Just because the same scenario is playing out all over the country does not constitute an attack on Mr. Langley's feelings. Turns out I wasn't the only one to find Mr. Langley's screed insulting. The police chief of Stanton, Virginia, Jim Williams, did too. His city is also engaged in democracy, with residents expressing concern with the Flock system, and they're open-ended. Well, I didn't get very far. Thank you. We'll continue next time.
Good evening. I'm Brenda from Ridgecrest 5051. I'm here to speak again about the Flock camera system. Chief, I appreciate the invitation to have a talk, but it would be a disservice to the 115 people who signed the petition to have it added to the agenda. Our group does not have the capacity to host a meeting of that size, so for the people to be heard, it needs to be added to the city council's agenda or have a town hall. Until then, this prolonged exchange is going to have to go back and forth in the public comment. We've looked at the contract provided by RICA. You only lease the equipment and license the images. All rights to the images are owned by Flock. The city does not own any of it. Now, initially, when my husband told me about the cameras, I said to him, it's about time the cops got their own cameras. At this point, Ridgecrest PD had already contacted us about a half a dozen times to review footage of incidents outside my husband's business. An officer even called in the middle of the night once, but my husband was still willing to get out of bed and assist the police since it was involving a very serious incident. But you haven't put up any of the Flock cameras in that neighborhood or in some of the problem areas in Ridgecrest. They're at major intersections, tracking people going about their everyday lives. Flock cameras are not surveillance cameras owned by the city. They're tracking cameras that are part of a statewide and potentially national network. It bothered me at the budget meeting when I learned that the system alerted your department to an out-of-town vehicle that entered Ridgecrest, but the budget meeting seemed like the wrong place to be learning about the system. I wasn't there to hear about the Flock system. I was there because I wanted to make sure the city was projecting less tax revenue, reflecting the staffing loss on the base. I was willing to wait and see. I'm done waiting. I've seen enough. Chief, you mentioned that this business is not a startup because they've been in business since 2017. It might sound like a long time for a restaurant business in Ridgecrest, but that's about the same time that my husband's business has been open. You also mentioned that it's a large company with systems across 700 cities. A normal company does not grow to that capacity without the backing of venture capitalists. Although they are based in Georgia, the money is coming from Silicon Valley. They have secured $275 million in venture capitalist funding. Their lead investor is Anderson Horowitz, a Silicon Valley venture capitalist firm. Like many other startups, once they've established themselves and graduate, they must sustain their business on their own. I almost guarantee that the price for your contract to license the equipment and the usage rights for the images will go up. We live in a surveillance economy. The phone in your pocket has apps that can track you, but only with your consent. I read the Daily Independent article dated from January 2024 that covered the Flock Town Hall. And several people are quoted who are against it, but only the police department spoke favorably of the system. My only reference is this article, so if the majority of the opinion of the residents in Ridgecrest were in favor of the system, it was not represented in that article. If the majority of residents are against the Flock system, I think that means the people of Ridgecrest have not given their consent. When Google was found to be tracking users without their permission, they faced several lawsuits, the largest being $5 million. Google decided to settle most of these cases instead of fighting them. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other persons wishing to comment? All right, we'll move on to council announcements and direction. I would like to see if, Chief, if you'd be up to it, if we could try to schedule a town hall, another town hall for Flock, if that's okay, or I don't. Okay. That way we can get individuals here, we can talk about it and hopefully get to the bottom. Not that I don't appreciate you guys showing up and talking all the time, but you could have a little bit more time on the clock. Any other council announcements or direction?
Yeah, I wanted to wait until Carrie sat down so you don't have to sit there. I wanted to say thank you for your all the work you did to get artists here. It was no small thing. It was a monumental task what you did, and it was. I think you probably worked with the Tech Grid as well. Did you? Yeah. So Tammy Schiller deserves some recognition, but I know, but you were the face of it, and you did all the heavy lifting, and I think that I really, if the community is not aware, Artists, what it stands for is Advancing Rapid Defense Innovation Symposium, and I do hope it continues, and I hope that you continue to grow in that sector. I haven't seen something like that happen in Ridgecrest, so I appreciate that you made it happen, Carrie. Thank you. The only other thing I wanted to say is the Christmas tree lighting seemed like an enormous success, and the city staff deserves a lot of that credit. So Narissa, to the Parks and Rec Department, and the PD, thank you, Chief. I don't see him here, but I know Jennifer and the public outreach team, they did a lot of work as well. I think you guys, I mean, that hot cocoa line was cruising, a lot of cookies went out, and the drone show was amazing. So that was cool too. All in all, success. Thank you for making that happen to the city staff. Over.
Any other announcements, direction? I did want to highlight January 18th is the Sanctity of Life Day. I know there are a lot of churches around that will be celebrating that day as well, but I know specifically the Pregnancy Care Center will be doing something, and yeah. All right. No other announcements or direction. We'll move on to the consent calendar. All items listed on consent are considered to be routine and non-controversial by city staff. Consent items may be approved by one motion if no member of the council or audience wishes to comment or ask questions. If comment or discussion is desired by anyone, the item will be removed from the consent calendar and will be considered in listed sequence with an opportunity for any member of the public to address the city council concerning the item before action is taken. There are 2 consent items and they are listed on the posted agenda. Does any member of the council wish to have an item pulled? Seeing none, does any member of the public wish to have an item pulled? Seeing none. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Motion and
Please
second.
vote. 5 ayes, motion carries.
All right, we will move on to committee reports. The Economic Development Committee met January 5th, and so their report.
Yes, sorry, I was deep into the research that we were handed. So, it does fall into the economic development and many other different committees, but we should start seeing equipment for Penny Pool arrive somewhere around 19 January. I'm saying somewhere around because, you know, one never knows. Things happen at the speed they happen. Oasis Entertainment Center is still talking about a groundbreaking sometime in Q1, but I'm not going to. Again, I would like to add the caveat that until you see permits and equipment on the ground, you can't, you know, don't count your chickens. Town Place Suites is looking at around 29 January. Savage Shakes opened up. I wasn't aware they were coming, but now they are open. So that was neat. Food Truck Fridays is coming. 23 January will be the first one. They plan to be on that north side of Balsam. And then, as summer comes, city staff, I think Jennifer had ideas to move it elsewhere. But for now, we're looking at Food Truck Fridays being, it's going to start with the 23rd of January. So look at the community calendar online on the city website, and you will see. Desert Valleys. I don't know if you wanted to speak about that, but Desert Valleys has a groundbreaking on the 15th of January at 08:30. Is that correct, Solomon? Okay. That concludes my report.
All right, the Finance Committee will meet January 13th in City Hall Conference Room B on the first floor. Infrastructure meeting, next meeting is January 22nd, City Hall Conference Room B, first floor. Report from Parks, Rec, and Quality of Life.
Thank you, Mary. Quality of Life did meet on January 6th. New business, we discussed the off-season movies, and so our Parks Director, Narissa, has been meeting with the theater, and so during the wintertime, everybody knows that during the summer we have the movie night, and it's been successful, and so she's been looking into off-season movies, so like in the wintertime, and so, and had found out that they were willing to provide a screen and theater setting for $500, and so, and that would entail approximately 140 seats for a movie night in the winter, and so we're looking at doing that a couple times a year. I think the consensus was at the committee that that would be a really fun and beneficial night for the community, and the costs are very similar to what the costs are to provide a movie night out during the summer. So we're looking forward to that. She's going to be moving forward with that. What else? In the spring, March 20th. We will resume the outdoor movie night again. The movie hasn't been determined yet, but we'll post that up as we get a little closer. Other items we looked at were brochures. The city has had a really nice, glossy, I think it's fantastic brochure. The last one was really nice, but we have excess of them, and so they're looking at going digital to just save, economically, it saves money. So in working with the Daily Independent, hope that's not new news, Aaron. But, and so to get that out to the community, we'll still have print brochures, but just on a more limited basis to provide to the public. Construction around the City Hall is going well. They're pouring the last concrete and getting that finished up. Pool update will be coming in the future. And what else we got? Bingo, back to the senior center. That's on our agenda each and every meeting still. They had a bingo kickoff, and I think they had 40-something, almost 50 participants in the first bingo night at the senior center. So that went really, really well. So things are progressing quite well at the senior center, and will continue to be fine-tuned and worked on. Kerr-McGee basketball will be starting up. I didn't get the date on that. I don't know, Narissa, if you'd.
So it's starting tonight. There's a parent meet and greet with the coaches from 6 to 7 next week. Yep.
Okay. And I think that concludes the majority of our meeting.
I also want to highlight, it was individuals in Inyakern helped out when the county wasn't providing meals for the senior center. Is that correct?
Yeah.
During Christmas break. So again, thank you to the community for helping out and pitching in.
Yep.
All right. Next, we have other committees, boards, or commissions. Nothing. Move on to city manager report.
I have nothing to add.
All right. Any future agenda items? We are steamrolling through this. All right. Mayor and council comments. Skip.
A couple things popped into my head. I think we have a remarkable celestial event coming up. I forget exactly when. It may be either tonight or tomorrow night. Has to do with the alignment of the Earth, Jupiter, and the Sun. So if there was any lurking earthquake looking for any gravitational incitement to raise its own brand of heck, it'll get it when all these planets line up. Another thing I mentioned to you, long ago, was at the Greek Theater when Neil Diamond cut the album, Hot August Night, one of the 5 best rock and roll albums ever cut. I was there and I never got over it. And the movie Song Sung Blue will appear soon at our local theater. I'm really looking forward to seeing Hugh Jackman do Neil Diamond. One other thing, Valentine's Day's coming up next month. Guys, be smart. Restaurants are, if they're smart, organizing a good Valentine's Day dinner. I know the Cactus and Flame in Inyokern has a remarkable plan. They're just now promoting. It got my attention, so I was smart. That's all I have.
I think this one is for Skip. I think Mother Nature works in our favor sometimes. I had several individuals that I had spoke with prior to New Year's. It was on New Year's Eve because I worked a half a day, and they were concerned about fireworks and their dogs. And I made it to midnight with my family and grandkids, and was walking outside to see them off, and it was raining, and I heard a couple sputters, and that was it. So I think the rain solved the problem. So probably wait another 100 years for that to occur. But anyway, hope everybody had a great Christmas and New Year's, and I wish everyone a happy New Year and good luck with the future.
Councilman Blades, do you have any?
This is almost the last meeting with our city manager, Ron Strand. He will be retiring in the next meeting, I believe. And I know that we've all said it, and it seems like we're just dragging it on, but it's going to have an enormous impact to the city, to the community, to the council. There's no way that we will not feel the absence of Ron Strand, and so I wanted to make sure I double tap that. So hopefully a lot of people show up and they say a few words about you, Ron, next meeting. Good or bad.
Good or bad, yes.
Good or bad. I just want to make sure I said that back out to the community in case people weren't tracking. Over.
All right. I want to reiterate the comments about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s celebration. It's Monday, January 19th. The program is from 11:30 to 1 p.m. I had the absolute privilege of going that last year. Got to see some very special people do some very special things at it. If you get the opportunity, please come out to that. I will be there. It is very moving, and it's such a life to think about and to revere. And hopefully we do it more than just once a year. The statements he made, what he lived for, I think are things that we could use in today's society. I also, yesterday I was able to help out with a raffle for the Pregnancy Care Center. They auctioned off a Rolex. I got to go to the Pregnancy Care Center. They offer a fantastic resource for new and expecting parents. You can do some online courses so that you can earn baby bucks to get articles of clothing. They have some cribs, diapers, formula, even maternity clothes. It's an absolutely fantastic resource. So if you are a new or expecting parent, please reach out to them. They offer a lot of good things even for youth. I believe that they just had a manual school there for a lesson on the life of a baby. When they have some models, it's pretty informative, probably a lot better than whatever the state of Indiana taught me about reproduction growing up. But that's all that I really have. Thank you all again for coming up and speaking. I know this is a short meeting, but I appreciate it, and we will look forward to next meeting and getting to celebrate Mr. Strand. So with that, we will adjourn. Everyone have a wonderful evening, and take care.